Week is Dr. Christine Ortiz, a material scientist who is building the university of the future. She loves education and learning, adventure, cooking new things, sci fi, history, and genealogy. She wants to know, what can nature teach us? Can we use biology to design better tools and materials? She studies material science. Material science is the study, engineering, and design of new materials, often inspired by nature. Dr. Ortiz is a professor at MIT, where her lab was filled with powerful machines, animals, and plenty of safety gear. She studies biological materials like the fish scales, bird feathers, and the dinosaur eel scales to create new materials. Today, Dr. Ortiz is expanding her work to also focus on building a new style of college that helps students from all backgrounds get the most they can out of school. Her path to science: a curious kid. She grew up in Westchester, New York, not far from New York City. She always loved projects and asking questions. She was an introvert and introspective kid who loved to collect things. For her first job, she wore a tool belt and fixed medical equipment. Straight into science. She already knew that she wanted to be a scientist by the time she graduated high school, and her family was supportive. So she went to Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Rochester, New York. After graduating, she left for graduate school at Cornell and did additional training in science in Cambridge, England, and the Netherlands, where she studied material sciences and learned how to develop and test new designs inspired by nature. Becoming a leader. After her training was complete, she went on to become a leader in her field. She became a successful professor at MIT and grew her lab to teach many students. She was particularly interested in projects that would have an impact on the tools we use in the real world every day. She loved that there was always something new to learn. Every animal is so complex that you could study a fish for 40 years and still not know everything there is to know about it. Branching out. She loved teaching and education and decided to get more involved with supporting students of all backgrounds in their studies. She became the Dean of Graduate Education at MIT. She helped students with everything from housing to administration to academic support. As a champion for diversity, she also helped to increase her school's underrepresented minority graduate population by 30%. Designing the future. After nearly 20 years teaching in universities, she realized ways that they could be better. She began working on a new design, but this time it wasn't for science, it was for schools. Now she's starting a university called Station One, which brings together her passion for learning, research, and mentorship by creating project based classes that focus on context, engagement, and the human side of science. Her advice: failure is progress. All scientists go through many, many challenges and failures. It doesn't matter how good you are, that's just the way it is. You have to learn to embrace the failures, learn from them, and not take them personally. Bring your creativity. Lots of people think that science is just about discovery. Depending on your field, it can also be a lot about creativity and innovation. You learn everything you can about something, and then you use what you find to make something new that can help the world in some way. Serve the real world. Most of society today is connected to science or technology in some way. When you go into these fields, you have an opportunity to take the problems that you care about and use science as a tool to find solutions. And our final quote: there's no aspect of society that's not dependent on technology, so the potential for helping better society as a scientist is enormous now more than ever.